Thank you very much. I want to thank Rudy and Yolanda for inviting me today, and they're becoming RJ GrassCo, so that's quite exciting for Andrew and I this coming season to have them part of our umbrella business. And so we're GrassCo, and a lot of you will know me, and we're in year 16 of being business in Southland, and we're well established in the business of measuring grass covers. So we just worked through this pretty idea, and I take a pretty wide view and have some pretty set ideas of just how people work on farm, and my goal is just to supply data. We specialise in supplying data, and that's just something to think about. If you want KPIs, I really like them, and I think whether it's your fertiliser, or your grass, or whatever, to have a list of KPIs, which you do have, you can't avoid it, but just to highlight those is a good idea. So that's just something to think about there. We monitor soil temperature, and we have data loggers that are in the ground on clients' farms, and this is at Waitui, and 30th to the 6th, and it was running at, that's taken 24/7, and it averaged at 5.5, and that has dropped down to 4 degrees. And that particular farm, it's a sheep and beef property, and they are measuring weekly, and I'm quite proud of that. It's the only sheep and beef farm that actually does it, and all my dairy clients are weekly clients, so we get a pretty good pool of data coming in every week. Yes, please. Yeah. So we just work. Yeah. So there's GrassCo report, and that is all the paddocks on the farm, and that's the average cover of 2137. So this is quite a specialised sort of report for the farm, and we follow a GPS track. We've been with TrackMap from day one. We'll be one of their first clients, to be honest, and we're just a very important part of our cornerstone of our business. So we'll just go through that report, and we've just got it, that's covered for the paddock. And why this works so well, it has been requested by clients, and some of the reports get up to 20 pages long, and it's all based on what clients want. So it works out really well. And that's available, and we've got a residual cover there of 1500, and we can change that to any amount we want, and that's available for cows per hectare. That available per paddock, yeah. So that's just how that's all available in the report. This is cumulative growth, and this page for some clients is the most valuable that they really like, and we've just sort of introduced and fine-tuned this a lot, and that's where we work out how the farm is actually performing. And one thing that's really important is never underestimate your ability to manage grass. We supply the data, you do the grass management, it's a winning combination. Just go back to the triangle through here. I don't want to go back. But that's all right. You go back to that other side. Right there. Yeah. Right, down one more. Yep. So this is your normal feed wedge. You're really familiar with it. And that's just a guide trend line through there, and we can alter that higher or lower, and basically you set that for the season, or some of these guys have been with me now for 16 years, and we've got a fair pool of data. So we'll just work down through that. This is the graph of the cumulative growth, and this farm at that stage just over the 10 pond, and that's the profile of how the paddocks are performing.
Just one question, Donald. If we're talking about growth and pasture growing through a season, you've been measuring about 30 farms through Southland this season. What's your average growth, or what's your best and what's your worst? In tonnage.
Yeah, in tonnage, right. So I got up to 31 weekly clients this past season, and that was, I was right maxed out. And so that was a fair pool of data, and we ranged from 9 con through to about 13 and a half con for the season. But you've got some of those farms had some of the driest periods that Southland has ever had. So there was a fair bit going on, and as you can see now, we've gone to the cover graph, and this is this particular farm, and you can see this season he's brown. Yeah, so that was the season before, and this is the one just past with the dots, and yeah, they took a real hit. What the difference is between that line and that line is lucerne baleage. The guy bought, I don't know, something like 3,000 bales of baleage down from Hawea and fed it out on the way down. So that's what influenced the grass cover.
So this last season, your best growing farm, or your best measured farm, was 13 and a half tons.
Yep. Yep.
So that's about a ton more of what these guys have done here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yep.
That's sort of what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And that's the growth graph, and if you couldn't think that by eye, that's what we find. You wouldn't credit it could do this. It's just unreal, and that's caused, well, not caused, but because we're weekly, we turn up the same day, same GPS line, consistent for the whole season, you get that attention to detail. And we've just added a temperature to the growth, and this is becoming really popular, and yeah, it just adds. But we're always open to suggestions, and yeah, we just work. This is what they call paddock yield mapping, and it was originally done by Ravensdown and Canterbury, but what we've been able to do with our sledge and setup is fine tune it, and because we track back GPS guidance, we did a run at 5 metres and one at 10, but we've got that technology. The take up of it has been nil, absolutely nil, but it's doable, and whether it's got potential in the future, time will tell.
So this is just a one-off picture of where your highest covers are in one paddock and where your lowest areas are, is that correct?
Yep, and every square going that way is 1 second of travel. So every square is the width of the reader by 1 second of travel. It's quite like there's nothing new about the technology, but yeah, it's just there's been no take up of it.
So you're just identifying poorer performing areas in a particular paddock that you can then look at and say, well, it's either compacted or it's rubbish, or would that be about right?
That could be right. I mean, I think it was originally done for irrigation, and then I got onto it and thought it might be good for variable sowing fertiliser. But to be honest, to even have the discussion about it has been near impossible. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this would complement Rudy's operation, and my whole life's based around pasture assessment, so I put that at the top. You find out your pasture cover, animal demand, your residual, and I put in there urea, but that could be anything. But that's the way the circle, in my opinion, has got to work. That's how it's got to operate. So, yep. And I think this is quite cool. You can have all the bloody technology and all the systems in the world, but if you don't use them right, you're pushing mud uphill.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, Donald. Thank you very much for that.
Yep. Now, got a photo? I'll just put that.
I'll just show you what's photo are you looking for?
That one on the screen, the main screen.
The pasture sledge.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
Yep. So that's our sledge, and that's what Rudy and Jolanda will be operating. And yeah, it's custom built. It's been basically that's about a model 15. We build a new one every year, and we've pretty well got it perfected. So that's good.
Yep. So basically, Yolanda and I have set that up now, or we've taken on part of Donald's business, just to measure what we are doing with those mixes, because I think it's really important for us to create more data. We can measure exactly what's going on farms, and then we can actually compare it with traditional ways, traditional run farms. Just so now we know, okay, are we growing the same? Are we growing more? Are we growing less? Now we've got options. Now we know. We should be able to find out. So that's why we're sort of taking on this venture.
So it's good. It's exciting. We're in GrassCo operates in mid Canterbury, and we've got a unit up there that is capable of doing close to 2,000 hectares a day, and I sort of like to sit around that 1,000 to 1,100 hectares of measurement per day. So there's a fair pool of data coming in, even on a daily basis.
How many farms is KE running up in Canterbury?
That's a different sort of a scenario because of the areas are just greater. So they probably don't do any more than 5 or 6 properties a day, like we do, but it's just the areas are so much larger.
Yeah, she's just started measuring all the aligned farms up in Canterbury.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many farms are operating, but she's doing the whole lot pretty much. So just to get accurate data, that's really what it's all about.
So, I know, we'll...
All right. Thank you very much, Donald.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming here. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, especially on a shitty day like this. But I really appreciate you coming along. And if there's anything you want to know about what we're doing or what Donald is doing, please don't hesitate to contact us, because we're an open book. I've got nothing to hide. This is what we do, and if there's any improvements we can make, bring it on. We're all about trying to reduce costs for farmers. That's what it's all about. Making a bit of extra money. All right. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll enjoy the burnt sausages.
Sorry.
Not that bad.